John Part fairy tale has been one for all of you darting romantics this weekend. Let's not forget his opponent, Robert Owen. He's made it through to his first TV quarter-final. Both men have been talking to Ned.
Well, next up, an intriguing clash, and again, one that probably, if you were doing your research before the tournament, you wouldn't necessarily have predicted for the quarterfinals. John Part, three-time world champion, against Robert Owen. And Robert, you were telling me actually in the qualifier for the UK Open, you've encountered this guy already this year.
Yeah, I got lucky. I got lucky in the first one. But yeah, you know, John's a three-time world champion. It's always going to be tough playing John. He's been there, he's done it. You know. But I'm sort of coming up the ranks now, and you know, you never know what can happen on that stage. Take every day is different. Absolutely.
You were a runner-up in this competition. Can you remember the date, the year, John? When were you a runner-up?
Maybe 2005, I'll guess.
Four.
Yeah, I was trying to make myself not look too old. Yeah.
Looking forward to it? Sure you are.
Oh, of course, yeah. Win 3 matches and you got a trophy and a whole bunch of money, and your short-term future looks great if you can pull that off, and why not? I mean, we're both feeling the same way about that. This is an opportunity.
Absolutely. Now, if you were doing your day job, the TV thing, the thing that I'm doing here, what would you be saying about this match? You'd be saying there's the three-time world champion up against Robert Owen. How would you be calling it? Yeah,
I'd look at it and I'd say experience always helps. I'm always going on about that, but again, more recent experience, I think Robert's probably had a bit more success just the tour. He cruised through the qualifiers, whereas I scraped in. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not how you get here, it's what you do when you're here.
Yeah, counts for nothing ultimately, doesn't it, Robin? And you must be, you know, brim with confidence at having got this far.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. This is my first quarter-final, TV quarter-final, back at home in the UK. So, you know, every game I won is you take confidence from it, and especially the last game against Ian White. You know, it's a brilliant scalp for me to take, and you know, just got to take game by game and just see how it goes.
What were you doing back in 2004, 14 years ago? Where would you have been
I was 16 years old playing rugby. So without any children, of course, but 16 years ago I was just playing rugby, just a local valley boy playing rugby.
Listen, really looking forward to this one. I wish you both all the very best. Good luck, John. Good luck, Robert.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
Since when can rugby players turn into darts players, I wonder? That would never happen, would it? Well, John Part was a beaten finalist at the UK Open 14 years ago, as we're hearing. Can he roll back the years and book a spot in the last 4? Or will Robert Owen's fantastic run continue, I wonder? Over to John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the quarter-final action here at Butlins Minehead. This is the Coral UK Open, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation and live on ITV Sport. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet our players. Please welcome from Ogmavale, Wales, Stack Attack, Robert Owen, and the 3-time champion of the world from Canada, the Darth Maple, John Part.
It's Wales against Canada for a place in the last 4 of the UK Open darts. We had a switch in the commentary box. Good afternoon, Chris Mason. And as ever, very dapper on finals day, Stuart Pike.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie. And worryingly, Chris Mason talking about getting the darts out again, saying if David Pallett and Robert Owen and John Part and the like can get to the quarterfinals, then why not Chris Mason? But I think we'll dissuade him about that. But it's a great opportunity for someone today, isn't it?
One of them boys, if the draw works out, for the semi-finals, could be in the final, Grand Slam place, big move up the rankings,
35,000
and the opportunity
guaranteed,
to win a major.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to this. John Part, the voice of experience, the darts of experience, against the young Welshman, Robert Owen. And who would have believed it? Rolling back the years, the 51-year-old Canadian who... well, he talks a good game, and this weekend he's played a very, very good game, John Part. And, you know, for him to suddenly realise and the belief that he can still do it on any given day. And, well, Robert Owen, only 33 years of age, very proud of his Welsh heritage. And
I loved it. He said he would be playing rugby or boxing. That's the two things that Welsh people love to do. Plenty of my friends down there in the valleys from the boxing background. But yeah, fabulous opportunity for both players.
So here we go for a place in the semi-finals. This isn't bad, is it?
140.
Well, his darts go in at that angle, and that's why he's known as a stack attack, because God rest his soul, our old friend Sid talked about stacking, and you'll see with Robert Owen's
Taylor-esque
darts, yeah, the way that they actually go in the board.
The Open, he can play as well as Taylor. It's a great start, but yeah, they go in very, very flat.
135.
What a start. 140, 135. A statement of intent.
Well, yeah, Robert Owen beating Michael Burgoyne, Jamie Lewis, the World Championship semi-finalist, and then
Yeah, he had a nightmare.
yeah, he did. Nathan Rafferty and then Ian White for John Part, Morris, Whitworth, Evans, Moulenkamp and Mervyn King. But noticeably,
97.
in that fourth round, Part beating Moulenkamp 10-9 and Owen beating Rafferty 10-9. And both of these players survived match darts. So you do need a bit of luck along the way, don't you?
85. Robert
Certainly do.
129.
$110 left, so 90 left. There you go, ball. Went 54 for 36. It's a lovely opening leg. Double 18 left after 12.
Just the start you would have wanted.
Yes.
You're playing in your first big, major TV quarter-final.
100. Robert, you require
Win the
36.
darts.
I made the quarters of this once. Got Phil Taylor.
Game
He only averaged 106.
13 darter
Second leg is John, the throw
for
first.
the Welshman. And John Part, to say the fairy tale story of which it certainly is.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Great for him.
100.
Shows what's possible.
Yeah, very popular man, John Part.
It's impossible not to like.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. His first major TV quarter-final is the 2012 Grand Slam of darts. But he's put the effort in, he's put the hours in, and he, without a
58.
doubt, is darts' biggest commuter. The amount of flights return flights each year back to
John
Canada.
Air Miles Part.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's serious about where he is right now in terms of his game and the opportunities available. It's not just a case he's playing because he can. He's playing because he fancies it.
Well, you know, he over the last 12 months or so, he has
99.
contemplated retiring, but he still has a tour card and he still has the desire to play. And you know, he said that as long as that's the case, then you know, it's the sport I love. It's the sport that's
100.
given him his living and his
Yep.
life and basically darts is his life. Of course, he has his family back home in Toronto, but for him, it is all about the darts. Just talking about the future, you know.
54.
Robert Owen, 93rd in the world. John Part, 100 in the world coming into this tournament. Part now up to 78. Owen up to 76. And then it just starts to open doors for the pair, doesn't it?
Yes.
85.
11,500 guaranteed. 17,500 guaranteed for reaching the semi-finals.
And that takes the pressure off for the rest of your season. It's money in the bank.
45.
Well, John Part hasn't really got going yet. He struggled in his match against Rob Moulenkamp, made a slow start. 2 against Mervyn King when he was 4-1 down.
140.
Took him a bit of time to get into it, but
Well, we know with John, there's no quit in him, so he will graft.
needs to get into it.
93. Robert, you require 56.
The only 2 scores of over 100 so far for the Canadian. Owen here, looking at double 18.
Oh, that's awkward.
38. John, you require 56.
Let off for Johnny
Yeah,
P.
missed opportunity. What can JP do? Double 16, 2 in his hand. It's the best part of his game.
That's
why.
Second leg, jumper.
Well, his finish against Mervyn King was exceptional. 3-ton plus finishes, but
The timing.
The timing of it, absolutely. Absolutely. All about desire for John Part. And belief.
What he tends to do is he frustrates his opponent, because you think, well, I'm dominating the match, and you're dominating statistically, apart from that end product, the doubles and the finishing. Like you say, the big finishing is his forte. Anything from 81 to 121, you actually fancy him to knock it out.
His opponents only started playing darts as a 19-year-old. Came to the sport rather late in life, but literally only started playing because he was with his mates in the pub and they were one short. How often have we heard that story down the years?
Absolutely.
140.
Just to confirm, Robert Owen is now on 81. Looking for another 11 dart leg, maybe. John Part is way back
81.
on 312. There we go. We'll keep you up to date. We get the graphics back. Double 12 for 81. Double 6. Just on the wire. So 12 for the Welshman when he comes back. John Part on 312. So you would think here that Owen will nudge ahead again.
140. Robert, you require
Good 140. The first 140 for John Part, but hasn't left a finish. 172. Double 6.
Game shot on the third leg.
But sometimes the way that his darts go in the board, you don't think it's possible that he can hit the doubles and trebles, but he does. So 2-1.
140.
Much
To
better
Robert
from
Owen.
John Part in the scoring department.
The Welshman still lives in the Vale of Glamorgan.
25 points different in the averages at the moment.
Still plays Super League as well.
58.
Feel his pain. Can beat a good Super League night at the darts. Chip sandwiches. Football cards.
Yeah. Pound pick a team. I was talking to Dean Williams, one of the PDC officials who looks after the players, and he was saying that he used to play Super League darts with Robert Owen's mum, Donna, way back in the day, a long, long time ago, because we all know how old Dino is, but very much a darting family, the Owens.
Then I don't believe that he didn't pick a dart up until he was 19.
100.
Love to tell a few tales, don't they, dart players?
John Part then, favourite to make it 2 apiece. Yeah, I mean, been outscored by his opponent, but as you say,
I'll tell you a true story. When you talk about family, my mum was one of the first women to hit a 180 on a big stage. And she was in the newspapers, and her name's Margaret, but everybody calls her Maggie, and the headline was Maximum Maggie.
60.
And every one of my family, my brother, my sister, my mum, my dad, all played county for the West of England.
Brilliant.
60. John, you require 56.
And that's why you're now commentating, I guess.
Just can't be bothered,
Tops!
can't be bothered to play.
16.
Well, surprise. I think John Part surprised there. So a chance here maybe for a break of throw for the Welshman. Semi-final place at stake at the UK
I
Open
can't believe
Finals.
he's gone ball first start.
A strange one.
Well, it's just makes no sense. If John wanted 400 and not 40, I'd get it.
This leg is Robert to throw first. Game on.
maybe he has only just started playing.
Well, the biggest darts day of his life in a major TV quarter-final, and that's a second maximum for Robert Owen.
He's playing some lovely darts. He's averaging 98-ish. Couple of 180s, 3 140s. He can score.
Well, he's worked very, very hard over the last 3 or 4 years, you know. Owen, he won a tour card in 2014.
100.
Had to go back and win it again 2 years later. Had to go back and win it again in January in Wigan, and he did.
And that's tough. Well, we've seen Dave Pallett.
Yeah.
He was just talking to Ned after his win
Very
over
difficult, yeah.
over Steve West, and he said, well, couldn't get me tour card. That shows you how tough it is. In the semi-final of a major, and a couple of months ago, couldn't get his tour card.
Well, Owen won 8 matches, 8 games on one long day in Wigan in January. 8 games in a day to win his tour card, so he's earned it. He's earned the right to be here. Double 16.
49.
I can see why. He looks a real tough opponent to play.
Looks like being 3 very, very strong holes to throw as well for the Welshman.
100.
He's a very tidy player.
Coming up next, another Welshman, Gerwyn Price against Corey Cadby, and then Gary Anderson and Rob Cross, the big one.
Game shot on
And there's the big double for Robert Owen. So 5 intriguing legs of darts. Owen dominant on throw, but John Party maybe being outscored the Canadian. But that has been the case all through this weekend. He's hanging on in there. Race to 10 for a place in the semi-finals. And Owen leads 3-2. Robert Owen, first major TV quarter-final, and that dart giving him a 3-2 lead as he looks to go through to the semi-finals here of the UK Open in Minehead. All 5 legs so far going with throw. The veteran John Part enjoying a terrific day. By the way, I'm indebted to darts statistician Burton DeWitt for this stat. It's really interesting that Part has won more ranking prize money this weekend than in his last 95 tournaments combined that he's entered. So, you know, you still believe that you can play, you still have the heart, you still have the desire, and you get the rewards.
Owen's won 1/3 of his career prize money has come from this tournament.
Another one. Well, how on earth did all those 3 go in at those differing angles?
Nip one, pearl one.
Yeah.
The averages are
85.
night and day. Only 20 points difference.
Well, look, I mean, he's going to have to switch now, surely. Yeah.
59.
Well, the advantage, although it doesn't look that great, is that when they lie down, like we see with Taylor for years, the target is open.
125.
Well, 15 points between them in the averages, but John Part here will still feel he can make it 3 apiece. And, you know, as I say, he's finishing against Mullenkamp.
98.
He survived 4 match darts, and then he...
Finishing this one is quality.
Yeah, I mean, against King, as I say, 3 ton-plus finishes, but in that deciding leg against the Dutchman in round 4, 93 in 2 darts, bang, bang,
Yep.
and it was like vintage.
Yeah, I mean,
John Part.
the beauty of this sport is that when we're playing leg play, which is the purest form of the game, I mean, if he's playing pretty ordinary on the Owen throw, but playing okay on his own throw, averages are irrelevant.
32.
Absolutely.
You know, he can average 90 on throw and 70 on the Owen throw.
Go on, John.
Another one of those.
Oh, dearie me. 50 scored, right? 50 scored, yeah. Unlucky, unlucky.
Well, he's hit it.
Fantastic
Bull,
bull
bull.
pull
That was unfortunate.
That was unlucky.
106.
You'd think he'd be back.
Treble 18 to give him a chance to break the throw on double 16. Oh,
90.
and that clipped the wire. I suppose you've got to say John Part deserves
Yes.
a shot at the same target after that ball. Got to finish under pressure. How significant may that
16.
prove to be? Very significant.
Ball two, break of throw.
Game on.
First one of the match, I believe.
It is, but 3 darts missed at 32 by John Part, and you have to say this weekend that's very much
Yes.
Part-like.
He's looked the part.
60. $134.
Surprising how many players do have this style, or a little bit shorter than the
60.
average player. Phil wasn't particularly tall, probably 5'8", 5'9", maybe. Robert Owen, fairly short, but it's
96.
become apparent that the shorter players do have this style of where the darts seem to go in flat. It's effective.
180.
Fourth 180.
You wonder how it's possible,
Yeah,
but it is.
yeah. It's not a style I would particularly teach or advise, but it works.
96.
It's very efficient.
Wonder how much John Part will come to regret missing those 3 darts for 3
Well,
all.
10, 15 minutes, John.
We're going to see, aren't we?
60.
We'll see. But he's got a chance to break straight back. He scored much better in this leg.
Robert, you require
You
140.
Not
regret
going to
that
be
one.
enough, is it? But he has left 1-3-2 again. More by luck than judgment, I'm sure.
Well, bad luck.
Come on.
109.
Good
Brilliant.
stuff.
John, you require
Very, very good.
The 180 got him back in the leg, but that was a fantastic setup.
I can't finish now.
20 scored.
Needs a treble to leave a double.
60.
The last 6 darts of the Canadian have been disappointing.
Very.
And again, now he's relying on the Welshman missing. He hasn't missed too much.
513 on his finishing, and we know in the previous leg he missed a clutch of doubles. 38% at the moment, which is very acceptable.
58.
Anything over 33%, so if you've got 3 darts in your hand, you'll more often mop the leg up than not. I'm impressed with his scoring, I have to say. He's still averaging 95. There we go, 95.28. Very, very impressed.
Well, that's the first for John Part. A leg he has to win.
Yes.
He goes a double break of throw down when you consider also that Owen threw first. It may be a step too far for him. Well, that's 4 180s
5.
in the last 4 legs. He's hit 1 maximum in each of the last 4 legs. Steady on, Christopher. You were Googling Robert Owen before, weren't you? Tell me what you came up with.
Textiles. 1700s.
Yeah.
And a
Philanthropist.
Yes, there we go. Very rarely say anything that I can't spell.
145. John Newcar, 164.
Been a good leg this from Owen. 36 after 9.
Fantastic leg.
Needed the treble for ball.
Yeah, disappointment for Part here because having hit the 180, given himself a chance, but the response from his opponent
128.
Has been
Robert
brilliant.
Nicol,
Yes.
36.
But again, Part is relying on Owen missing. Is this going to be 4 legs on the spin? Compose himself. Have another go. Well, if you're John Part, you are
Spewing.
Well, yeah, you can't believe it. He must have thought, well, how on earth? Well, that, yeah, I mean, I think only he knows how that happened. That's a body blow, though, for the 3-times world champ, isn't it?
Yeah, that hurt. That will hurt. Nothing worse than standing behind your opponent and you think, oh, last dart in his hand. And especially from that, the darts,
No
the
chance,
angle,
yeah.
you're thinking that's not going in.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker.
99. $96.
97 average. And at the moment, too good for John Part.
$60.
Yeah, the two key legs. That last one when the near impossible last dart, then the 6th one where John Part missed 3 darts to make it 3-all, and that really does appear to have turned the game on its head. We said we'd know in the next 10 or 15 minutes, and it looks like Robert Owen is giving us the answer because he's punishing Part here.
He started off superb, and he's maintained that average of 97.20. I mean, that's quality.
60.
That's enough to give anybody problems. Never mind someone who's averaging 82.
Oh,
171.
fantastic 171 to leave 36 again.
He can score.
The lad can play, and he's proved it this weekend. It's just sometimes that, as with David Pallet, it just all falls into place.
Yes.
Belief, confidence, the spark, another fantastic double.
How often do we say it, though, Stu? Darts are all about timing.
Game on.
Yeah, spot on, spot on. And perfect timing for both Robert Owen and David Pallet so far. Robert Owen came here 93rd in the world, and looks like he's going to be in the semi-finals of a major TV tournament. David Pallet not even got a tour card, for goodness sake, and he is in.
They could get each other
The
in the semis.
semi-finals, absolutely.
Just notice on his shirt, he's sponsored by my old
140.
Super League team. Will Adamson of the Cleveland Arms down there in Wolverhampton.
95.
He's actually involved with quite a few players.
$100. $85.
Anyway, back for the Canadian, do you think?
No, absolutely not. It's not scoring heavy enough. Needs to find 10 points on his average.
131.
On the Owen throw to, I mean, Owen's average now is over 100. This is a really, really impressive performance. His first major quarter-final. The only other tournament of any real relevance was the Dutch
Darts Masters at the end of last year, yeah, he got through to the quarter-finals.
Yeah.
44. Johnny McCall, 121.
A leg he has to win to give himself some hope and belief. Is it the end of the line? Is it the final chapter of the fairy tale of John Part, Minehead 2018?
And he's pretty much bang on his tournament average at the moment, around 80, 85-ish. which will get you so far,
61.
but in the end you get found out.
John, you require 38.
Well, he's lost the last 5 legs. He's going straight for it, double 19. Oh, good dart. Hands on in there, John Part. He will battle and scrap and fight away to try and stay in this tournament, but he has it all to do. Robert Owen is 3 legs away from the semi-finals of the UK Open. He leads 7-3. A very welcome back to Minehead. Finals day at the UK Open Finals. And Corey Cadby against Gerwyn Price. A tasty tungsten treat on the way. That's our 3rd quarter-final. And then, of course, after that, the big one, as Rob Cross plays Gary Anderson.
11th flag is Robert to throw first.
But here, Robert Owen, the 33-year-old from South Wales, is 3 legs away from a place in the semi-finals.
140.
Played beautifully, averaging 99, and he has taken advantage of every slip that we've seen from John Part.
Pretty sure it's the first time that we've commentated on him, and I can't be nothing but impressed so far. Very, very good. 5 180s, 10 140s, 100 average, 40% on his doubles, and a place in the semi-finals of the UK Open beckons.
100.
Looking back, you know, the last tournament win for John Part was on the European
100.
Tour, and it was the UK Masters. It was here at Butlins in Minehead, going all the way back 5 years ago, March 2013.
Wow.
44. Robert, you require 121. $89.
But John Part nowhere to be seen. He hasn't broken the Robert Owen throw, but in
60.
fairness, he hasn't
Robert
really
Owen
got
32.
close to breaking the Welshman's throw.
Game shot on the 11th flag.
Look at that.
Robert
Now within
Owen.
2.
12 flag is John to throw first. Game on.
100 average, 8-3, 2 legs away. The dream is alive
100.
for Robert Owen. Top 64 is his first big aim for 2018. This will put him well on the way to achieving that.
57.
Say a victory here would guarantee him at least 17,500 for a semi-final appearance. And as Chris said, it just sets you up for the rest of the year. There are no worries, nothing
60.
to really distract from
Nope.
concentrating on your darts.
Well, you can just focus now on the job in hand.
Well, as we said before, I mean, he deserves all the credit. You know, he's had to win his tour card not once, not twice, but 3 times, and he's done it on each occasion.
There's not many players that have actually done that.
No, I'm sure.
And then gone on to, say, potentially reach a semi-final of a major.
83.
No, but even if John Part does lose this, the desire will burn bright to carry on playing. Some European Tour qualifiers coming up for the Canadian.
And you'll take a lot of positivities out of this.
Absolutely. If he can get in the top 64, back in the top 64, then
No Q score.
46.
tour card again. Yeah.
And as he said, it's all work in progress at the moment.
Hey, 51 years of age and still loving every
81.
minute.
He's had his health problems that
Yes.
she's now addressing. Wild ones.
Yeah, the body language kind of
just
suggests that.
63.
Problem is, Stu, he's forcing everything.
23.
Yep.
66 left. I wouldn't go 16. I don't think John will take 149 out. Oh, double 8.
That's one way of doing it. And that's another way of doing it. Take a bow, young man. Robert Owen. Fantastic finish.
99.95 average in your first major quarter-final. 5 180s, 11 140s. Fair play to you, young man.
I think as well, what might benefit, or what will benefit Robert Owen, is the fact that there isn't a big crowd.
Yep.
You know, because if you are just
There's
joining
no distractions.
us, this weekend, that really heavy snow
60.
here in Minehead. So for health and safety reasons,
An understatement.
the darts fans were not allowed in. The people you see behind Robert Owen are friends and family and players, guests. But I just wonder if that's a factor.
58.
Oh, it's bound to be. We've seen so many of them results over this tournament. It's an environment that all the players are used to.
84.
And then the cold, as we had no heating in the multi-board room.
And ordinarily, this match would have been played in the Skyline
In
Arena.
front of 5,500 people.
Exactly, over 5,000 people. Completely different kettle of fish.
Totally different environment.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is, would Robert Owen have performed to this level in front of 5,500 people? Probably not.
He's performing to a very high level. Averaging over 100 in a 6th 180. It
At the moment, it feels like he's playing in his living room, and I'm still the living room world champion. So
40. Robert Unicorn.
I can still hit 100 averages in my living room.
16 times living
16
room world champ.
times champion of the living room.
Look, can he finish it in style?
Oh, it's for the
Ooh.
match.
But it has been, in this situation,
99.
it's been the complete performance
Yes,
from Owen.
perfect. 100.48 average.
I don't think I even won in my living room, Chris.
97. Robert Unicorn.
So is this it?
68.
Is it going to be game, shot and the match?
Actually struggle when the cat's watching.
And the biggest win of his career. Double 18.
32.
He'll be back with John Parr looking at 140 minimum.
Fingers crossed. He's limped out, but overall,
60.
great few
Robert
days
Unicorn,
for JP.
56.
But a place in the semi-finals for Robert Owen.
Well, that's all right. It'll
Good
work out
switch.
for him. Double 16.
Game shot.
And there it is. Robert Owen, the Welshman, ends the fairy tale run of John Parr. And Robert Owen, ranked number 93 in the world, joins David Pallett, who hasn't even got a tour card, in the semi-finals of a TV major. The UK Open Finals is throwing up some huge stories. Owen wins 10-3, and another Welshman is coming up next as Gerwyn Price takes on the highly fancied Corey Campbell.
John Parr's fairy tale run at the UK Open's come to an end. The former 3-time world champion from Canada has lost to this man, the Welshman, Robert Owen, competing in only his second ever TV event. He's through to the semis. He's earned himself a minimum £17,500. That was hard work, but he has done it. Scoreline doesn't look as though it was such hard work. It was 10-3 in the end to Robert. Very healthy average of almost 99. 43% on the checkout, 6 180s, and he is through. He will be back this evening to compete in his first semi-final. Wow, David Pallett, the other player who is through. But let's hear now from Robert Owen, who is with John Parr talking to Ned.
Yes, Jackie. A philosophical John Parr, I would suggest, and an ecstatic Robert Owen. And for good reason. Robert, you played brilliantly up there, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't feel like I played anywhere near my top level at the minute, but I've just been sort of, I think apart from that game, now looking back at the statistics, I sort of been scraping through the last couple, but with that, yeah, it was pretty good. There's another 2 or 3 gears yet to go.
To hold it all together in the way that Robert did, John, I mean, you've been around, you know, and in your current occupation as an analyst as well. You have to credit him with a terrific performance there in uncharted territory in his career as well.
Yeah, it's a great performance right there, and he played really well. Yeah, I don't think there's really any buts there. You know, maybe I played better somewhere along the way, but he had me under pressure from the start, and I just could not get going. And he shut me down, and yeah, he played a great game.
So it's one of those, there's nothing you can pinpoint about what went wrong in terms of your game?
No, listen, I didn't feel myself. I didn't feel like I was true to what I'd done a lot of this weekend. But you know what? You're up there, and you have somebody throwing against you, and he made all the shots to pressure me in the worst ways. And, well, end of the day, that's who wins, you know.
Yeah.
That's great darts. So I'm disappointed, obviously, but on the other hand, I'm very, very happy. I made the quarterfinal of a major tournament, and it's the right step forward for me. But for Robert, you know, he's looking at a title here. I mean, this is career changing. Hopefully, he keeps that going, and with the standard he's playing, there's no reason he can't think about being holding a trophy.
Man, well, how does that make you feel, Robert, coming from a guy like John Part?
Well, from John, you know, 3-time world champion, absolutely, you know, superb player through the years. He's still been around. Well, how long have you been around, John? 30 years.
Too long.
You know, for someone to say that to me is, you know, it's fantastic. I can only just, you know, I could have only dreamt of going to the semi-final this weekend, and I just got to take the next game as it comes now and just be level-headed and chill out now this afternoon and ready on for tonight, no?
And the next game just happens to be a UK Open semi-final. Go away and get prepared for that, and we'll see you back on the hockey. Well done, Robert. And John, you've kept us royally entertained. It's brilliant to see you throwing so well, and hopefully more of the same to come still. Thanks to you both. Cheers.
Thank you.